Management Associates. We're coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina. We want to get an idea of how we're doing now. I'm doing this broadcast from our phone, and I'm doing this broadcast from our phone. I want to know if this is going to be sufficient to do our Sunday school class tomorrow morning, and I'm going to continue on my phone until I can find another way to get this broadcast out on our computer. I want to know how we're doing. S. North says 5x5. Berlinda says hello. Welcome, Berlinda. We appreciate you here. Richard's here. Twirly Cashew's here. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate here. Tinny Pearl, thank you so much. How are we doing? How's the video? How is our sound? I want to make sure we're doing this right. And yes, Richard Smith says, please, everyone, hit the thumbs up and please subscribe and share. Okay, subscribe and share. When you hit the subscription button, there's a little bell icon. Also click on that and then click on the word ALL. That should get you notified when we come on the air. We've lost about 10 subscribers in the past 3 days. I understand we have not been on the air as of late to talk because of one thing or another, but I'm here. I'm going to stay here on the air. I'm going to stay here every day, and I will be here on the phone until I can get the computer fixed. Something's wrong with the computer. I don't know what happened with the last audio and video, but the video part was frozen, and that's not acceptable. S. North says, I sound clear. Thank you so much. 5x5 now, George Rashad says, thanks. Okay, is the video clear to all of you? We're not being buffered? I want to make sure we're not being buffered at all. Video's good, so glad to see you. Thanks so much, Layla. I appreciate that. Okay, let me briefly talk about a few things, and then we'll get off here. I will be coming back tomorrow at between 12 noon and 12:30 with Come Follow Me, or the Savior Says, in regards to our Sunday school class tomorrow at noon, tomorrow morning, whatever time it is where you're at. 12 to 12:30 Eastern Time tomorrow for a Come Follow Me broadcast. Other than that, we'll be back here on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometime between 6 and 7 Eastern Time for a normal broadcast of Emergency Management Associates. Now, let me go back a couple days and let you know what we've seen, okay? Debbie's here. Thank you so much. Let me tell you what's going on, okay? Again, we had a visit from the President of the United States Friday morning here in North Carolina. He met with the governor. He also met with the people representatives of Western North Carolina. Things are just as bad as they ever were, okay? Yes, the Amish people, thanks to NASCAR representatives, pulled up tiny homes for the residents of Western North Carolina, but not all residents have those tiny homes. Some have been living in tents. However, before President Trump got here, President Trump had arranged for people living in Western North Carolina in the tents to go to more temporary but permanent housing. Now, President Trump has made some offers to people here in North Carolina and also California. Number one, he's going to get rid of FEMA. He's going to sign in an executive order to get rid of FEMA. FEMA's screwed things up so many times, it's not funny. Now, the states are going to be in charge of making sure they have the things they need for the residents after a disaster happens. So the state is going to be making emergency declarations, and the president's going to back it up with money. After that, it's up to the governors and representatives of each state to put out the money where it's needed and to get the help where it's needed as well. The National Guard has been called in this case here in North Carolina again. Also, the Army Corps of Engineers has been called here to help repair bridges and other infrastructure necessities to make sure the residents of Western North Carolina get the help that they need. They're also putting those people in housing. getting them out of tents, off the cold ground, and getting them the help they need. Fully furnished units. Fully furnished units, guys. Now, President Trump hailed the Grahams, the Billy Graham Foundations, and Franklin Graham for his assistance with Samaritan's Purse. I made 3 donations in the past month and a half to Samaritan's Purse. Now close to $500, thanks to all of you helping donate to Samaritan's Purse through us. You guys have given us super chats. You guys have given us individual donations as well, which I greatly appreciate. We definitely appreciate that so much. And I've sent that money on to Samaritan's Purse and also to Glenn Beck's Mercury One Foundation to get the people in Western North Carolina some help. Now, President Trump, after he surveyed Western North Carolina and gave the people some help, he will be back. He said he's going to be back soon here in Western North Carolina to make sure the people are getting what they need. In California, right after he arrived in Western North Carolina yesterday, he zoomed back to California. He zoomed back to California for many reasons. Number one, the fires are still burning there. President Trump, when he was in California last, 2017, he told Governor Newsom then that they needed to make some changes in the way they fought fires, to make some changes on how they manage forests. In other words, getting the garbage off the forest floor so if there was a fire, it did not burn like these other fires have now. That was number one. Number two, there was no water to fight fires. Governor Newsom was also responsible for that. Newsom has always said there's not enough water for anybody. He's wrong. I didn't realize it, but there's water coming out from the Pacific Northwest in the form of rain and snow from the Pacific Northwest flowing into California. The mismanagement of Governor Newsom as governor of California has led to no water being in the reservoirs. Yes, there were 2 reservoirs that Newsom completely drained prior to this fire. I personally believe it was that Newsom was responsible for making those decisions to drain those reservoirs, getting rid of the water even 2 weeks before these last fires. It's garbage what he's done. From what I hear, President Trump beat him up, not physically, but emotionally and mentally. He took Newsom to task. He also met with the representatives from Los Angeles. He and his wife, Melania, met with the representatives from Western North Carolina and California both. Okay, they met there. They flew over the disaster areas. President Trump has also allocated money to California. Now, he's also said that he's going to do away with going through permits. He's gone through and said that the permitting process must come to an end immediately. There's not going to be any permitting process for people to rebuild their properties. Then people were telling the individual homeowners that he met with in the disaster burned out area said that they had applied for permits to clean their property up to start rebuilding it. They said the permitting process would take up to 18 months, a year and a half. President Trump said that cannot be. They must be allowed to clean up their properties immediately. Then, in the meeting with Mayor Bass of Los Angeles, she was saying, oh, there's hazmat materials there. They have to be dealt with. President Trump said, bullcrap. Bullcrap. President Trump said that they can start clearing their properties immediately, right now. All they have to bring in is a dumpster. One of those dipsy dumpsters that they can put the ashes in from their property, and they can be able to rebuild immediately. And the permitting process must. President Trump said he must allow the permitting process to go forward immediately with no permits. No permits. So this is a good thing. Okay? The Democrat leaders in California got beat up by President Trump heavily. Mayor Bass was there in the meeting, sitting just 2 chairs away from President Trump. When she mentioned permitting process, President Trump said no. There will be no permits. Let these people clean up their properties. They were standing there right now. There's no reason that they're going to have any more fires rise from those ashes. Those ashes are cold. There's no more anything going on. Let them clean up their property now. Don't tell them, oh, you can hire a dumpster company to come out and bulldoze your property and then you can start over. No, that takes time. That takes time and contracts. They can do it themselves. He said those property owners can start today, and they can probably be done clearing their own property within 24 hours, sometimes in most cases. So President Trump is not going to allow Mayor Bass or anybody else to do what they've done in the past. The past is done. It's in the past. Let's stay there. Let's go forward. So that's what President Trump has done. He's also allocated money to help those people rebuild. So they're going to be rebuilding very quickly, very honestly, and swiftly. Their properties are going to be better than they were. That's what President Trump promised. Those people will have their properties better than they've ever had them. They're going to be able to rebuild immediately, not next week, not next month, not next year, but immediately. Okay, he promised them that. I believe President Trump is going to do it as well. Okay, I believe President Trump is going to do it as well. Folks, I'm going to continue to help you. I'm going to continue to monitor the information we can get to give you the information as soon as it becomes necessary, as soon as it becomes out in the open so we can broadcast you the information. Now, the other things I wanted to talk about. Okay. Pete Hegseth is now the United States Defense Secretary. Late yesterday evening, he was approved by the Senate. Okay. The Senate voted 50-50. The Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance, had to be called in as a tiebreaker vote in the Senate. So that's how Pete Hegseth got approved to be the Defense Secretary. Now, why did that happen? Because we have some rhinos in the Senate. We have some worthless Republicans, worthless conservatives. Even the Senate former Speaker voted against him. McConnell voted against him. 3 other senators also voted against him. What a bunch of crap. Our own conservative politicians are trying to keep Trump from doing what he needs to do. Fortunately, we had enough Republicans to get him nominated and approved. So he's approved. He's now the new defense secretary. Now, also last night, something else cool happened. We have a new Homeland Security Director in Kristi Noem, former governor of South Dakota. She's our new Homeland Security Director. It's not going to be that idiot that was in charge before. Okay? He's going to be brought up on charges. Okay? That former Homeland Security Secretary will be brought up on charges. You can count on it. Okay? He's a worthless piece of crap. He's following the deep state, and he was following what Biden wanted him to do, which is nothing. Absolutely nothing. So he's gone bye-bye. Okay? Mayorkas is no more. We're going to hear his name. We're going to see him brought before Congress. He's going to be held on contempt charges. Okay? He's going to be responsible for the murder, or not just murder, but the rape and other crimes around this country because he has allowed these illegal aliens into this country. He's allowed it because Biden and his cronies allowed it as well. But the Homeland Security Secretary could have stopped it, but he didn't do it. Okay? But Mayorkas is gone. We now have a Homeland Security Secretary that's going to do her job. Now, she's not just in charge of the border. She's not just in charge of the border. Kristi Noem, being the Homeland Security Secretary, is in charge of Customs Border Protection at the border. She's in charge of Border Patrol at the border. She's in charge of Secret Service. She's in charge of the FBI. She's also in charge of all law enforcement organizations throughout the United States, including DoD police. She's in charge of the Department of Defense Police. They're federal police officers under the Secretary of Homeland Security. Okay? All federal agency law enforcement, from the DEA to the alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and explosives to Homeland police forces. Yes, we have Homeland Police guys. She's in charge of all of them, and she will be making reforms in Constitution with President Trump. Okay, she will be making reforms within the Constitution with President Trump. Okay, the crap that's gone on before is over. It's done with. That's not going to continue. The other members of President Trump's cabinet will be sworn in very soon. They're going through the confirmation process. Now, if the Democrats, for any reason, try to hold that up, they'll also be held responsible. Okay? As James Brackett just said here in the chat, Trump is keeping all of his promises in record time. He's keeping all of his promises in record time. Now, he mentioned yesterday when he was in Los Angeles with Mayor Bass and everybody else there, he said, what other president within 5 days would have made this much effect on our country? Nobody. No other president has ever been able to do what President Trump has been able to do. He's gone over to Western North Carolina and helped solve our problems here. He's gone over to California with the wildfires, and that's going to be solved as well. He's going to do that all the way across the board. President Trump's doing a marvelous job. He really is. Okay? He's made the changes and notifications he can through executive orders. Next, he will be working with Congress. Yes, there are Democrats and Rhino Republicans that will try to stop it, but it's not going to continue. I promise you, it's not going to continue. Those people that get in President Trump's way will end up being out of work, including the Democrat Congress people and the Senate. Sooner or later, they'll be gone as well because President Trump is tired of being railroaded. That railroading process is over. Okay? President Trump is here for us. Now, something else I just found out about today. Remember Greenland? When President Trump said that he was going to try to make Greenland part of the United States, it's well on its way. President Trump had a conversation with the politicians in Denmark, the king and such. Now, that went on for a while. There's quite a long conversation with the Danish politicians. Now, what we found out yesterday is that the people of Greenland want to become part of the United States. They want to become part of the United States. Now, there was a conversation for a while during the past 2 weeks before President Trump came into office that the people of Greenland didn't want to do it. That's wrong. The people of Greenland do want to do it. It's the Danish leaders that didn't want to do it. They did not want Greenland to become an island governed by themselves. The Danes wanted control of Greenland, and that's about to come to an end. I have a feeling within a very short while, the Greenland people will become under the Constitution of the United States, and they may also become a state. Okay? They may remain a territory a very short time, but they will become a state sooner or later. Now, those of you in Canada, okay, I love each and every one of you. We have several people here that live in Canada. I care about you. I think President Trump also does. Now, President Trump has been in conversation with your leaders in Canada. Whether or not your leaders allow Canada to become part of the United States as a U.S. 51st state is up in the air right now. But President Trump has vowed that he's going to help you guys in Canada. He wants to help you guys in Canada more than anything. And I believe he's going to do that. Richard Smith says he wants to see Nova Scotia and New Brunswick join Maine. That would be great. That would be great. But I believe at some point, President Trump is going to help Canada very greatly. He's about to do that. He's been in conversation with Trudeau. He's been in conversation with the former finance minister from Canada. And she seems that she wants to also work with President Trump, even though she's no longer the finance minister for Canada. She still wants to work with President Trump. I still believe there's a lot of people from Canada that want to work with President Trump. And in that case, there's going to be great movement going forward with Canada. We are all one North American family. We are one big, huge North American family. I believe that. I feel that deep in my heart. I love you guys in Canada. Okay? I've loved you guys since I first went into Canada myself back when I was a teenager. You guys are awesome. When I was an older teenager in my adulthood, I also visited Canada in Montreal and Quebec. You guys are awesome. I've been in Manitoba, Canada, and Saskatchewan, Canada. I've been in Winnipeg in Manitoba. I've been up to Lake of the Woods in Canada and Minnesota. I love that area. You guys are awesome. I also wanted to be in Alberta area as well. I hope maybe we can Carol and I can visit there within the next few years. That would be great. Catherine Sigerson said she wants lower taxes and better medical care. I agree. All of you deserve better medical care, and all of you deserve lower taxes. All of us around the globe deserve lower taxes, including here in the United States, where we've been raped in the past. Okay? We all have been raped in the past. We're paying 50% or more of our paychecks to the government, and that's going to stop. President Trump has instituted tariffs instead of income taxes here in the United States. Hopefully, our income taxes here in the United States are going to go away. Okay, that's the other thing that President Trump has been working on. He's got a great eye for finance. He's got a great eye for leadership, and that's what he's done. He's proven his viability as a politician and as a leader, and I have great respect for that. Now, I also want to pay respects to Rebecca here, formerly NCWQ Explorer. It's Rebecca the Explorer now. Rebecca, thank you and happy birthday. I want to wish her a very happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Now, I can't sing that song because they'll give me a copyright strike, but I just said my own thing here, okay? But we appreciate all of you guys. If you guys have a birthday now or in the next day or so, happy birthday, all of you. All of you. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Okay? But anyway, we appreciate all of you very much. Layla says no tax returns being processed until January 27, 2025. That's strange. I agree. It is strange. I've never heard of that before. Now, do any of you guys, Nancy Wheeler's asking when's my birthday? My birthday was last November, November 11th. And if you guys ask me what year, I'm going to say every year. My birthday is every year. Anyway, do you guys have any questions? I'll be happy to answer any questions right now. Berlinda says, not me, I don't want any birthday old enough. No. Berlinda, what you need to do is this. Have unbirthdays. Okay? Have unbirthdays. When I first married my wife, we started having unbirthdays. Having an unbirthday in the middle of the year, that way she stays the same age every year after that. Okay? And you can have as many unbirthdays as you want to get down to your desired age, but then you can have unbirthdays to stay that age. Okay? Layla's asking, new USGS head. My thoughts? Absolutely. USGS needs a new head. The United States Geological Survey has gone past its own. Okay? USGS started off looking for oil for the United States. USGS not just looks for oil. It's no longer an environmental agency. Okay? It's gone well past there. Okay? USGS is the Geological Survey, okay? Geological, seismological. They need to pay attention to what they're doing, okay? Our world is in a lot of trouble, including here in the United States. It just is, okay? What has happened right now with the USGS is appalling. It's gone from bad to worse in the last 5.5 years. And this year, it's gotten worse. So yes, we need a new USGS head. I have sent a couple letters to President Trump. I've also emailed Elon Musk, and he said they're working on it. So that's where I'm at with USGS. Yes, if they asked me to come over there to USGS, I would turn USGS upside down. Okay, USGS needs to be totally taken apart and put back together, top to bottom. Okay. They need to be reevaluated. The scientists can be scientists. Let the scientists do what they need to do. I'm not saying that. Management has got to go away. The management of USGS needs to go away and go away quickly. That way, the USGS can get on with the job. United States Geological Survey needs to be allowed to do its job. Geologics, seismology. Right now, they're not doing that. They're playing games. Management has been listening to these politicians for far too long because the politicians want to stay in office. That's BS. The politicians need to be responsible to the people. They need to be listening to the people. They're not doing it. The politicians want to stay in office, and all they want is money. That's all the politicians want. And they've been telling USGS, give us some money. Don't be telling the American people what's really going on. Don't be telling the American people what's going on, because if they do, the people will move. They will get out of the areas that will get devastated by earthquakes. They will get out of the areas that are being devastated by earthquakes. Mark my words. Okay? It has to go away. Layla says new USGS head, Dave Applegate. I don't know much about Applegate, but I will. I'll find out more about him very soon. But like I said, what has been happening with the United States Geological Survey needs to stop, and needs to stop immediately. It cannot be allowed to go on. Not one day further. Not one day further. It has to stop. It has to stop now. Nancy Wolfer says they should learn to manage their budgets smartly, not just ask for more money like teenagers. You're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. They need to stop asking for money like teenagers. They're not teenagers. They're full-blown adults. If they can't do their job, leave and let somebody else do it that will. Okay? They need to get out of the way and do their jobs, or get somebody that will. Plain and simple. I guess Tinny Pearl is going to leave us. She says, be safe and stay warm. Say the same to you, Tim. We appreciate you being here. We really do. Now, there is one earthquake I need to talk to you about. Now, that is over in Bandon, Oregon. Let me show you a map of the United States and the world right now here. Okay? Let's go over here to the Pacific Northwest. Okay? Over here in the Blanco fracture zone. Right here. This is in the overall Cascadia megathrust earthquake zone. This is in the Cascadia earthquake zone. This is on the Blanco fracture zone. We've had many earthquakes in the same location. This is a 4.7 earthquake that hit early this morning. Just 12:36 a.m. this morning Eastern Time on the Blanco fracture zone. That north-south earthquake zone that you see right here. This is the Cascadia subduction zone. This whole area from way down here, where you see my cursor here, this is the Gorda Escarpment. This is the southern end of the Cascadia subduction zone. The entire Cascadia subduction zone goes up here. Okay? This is called Queen Charlotte Island, or as they've been calling this, Now my mind just went blank. This is where the Cascadia subduction zone starts here. It goes all the way down south, down here to Northern California. Okay? Now, we believe that there's going to be a Cascadia megathrust earthquake. That earthquake is going to start up in this region. Again, the north-south earthquake fault is called the Cascadia subduction zone. But the subduction zone region includes this area out to the west, right here. Okay? This is different. This is completely different. Okay? This is a zigzag fault zone. Okay? This has been here for quite a while. This is called the Juan de Fuca Fault. This area here is called the Juan de Fuca Fault. Someplace between the Juan de Fuca Fault and the Cascadia subduction zone is where we're going to see the 9.0, 10.0 earthquake sometime within the next 5 years. Okay? Major earthquake within the next 5 years. Richard Smith has said he would like to see Canada included on the USGS map. I agree. I totally agree with that. They should. But again, the United States Geological Survey has already said on its site that they receive the option to put up whatever earthquakes they deem fit. Meaning, if they don't think it's necessary, they're not going to put it up. If they don't think it's necessary, they're not going to put it up. What they think is necessary is immaterial. It's immaterial. They need to start putting up what is necessary. Not what they think is necessary, but what people want. This should be a people organization. This should be a people organization. Okay? Now, Ruthie's saying, yes, USGS puts up other reports on other countries. They do, but they don't. They're not reporting all the information that they should. They are not reporting all the information as they should. There are other earthquakes here in the Pacific Northwest here, along the coastal areas and at the volcanoes. They're not reporting everything. Look here, Mount Baker here. Mount Baker here, guys. They're not even reporting earthquakes today at Mount Baker. They're not. They're not reporting any of the earthquakes along the coastline here. Nowhere. Yes, there are earthquakes up here. Earthquakes up here at Willapa Harbor. Where are the earthquakes here? They're not being shown. Why not? Why not? Okay. Orcas Island. Why are they not being shown here? Arctic. How about radar in Nassau, Washington? Where's that? They're not showing any of these. There's earthquakes up and down the entire coastline that they're not talking about because they don't believe they have to talk about them. They don't believe anybody deserves to know what's going on. They're not going to talk about it. Why? Why not? Over here at Mount Rainier, they're not talking about any earthquakes here at Mount Rainier. Down here, Mount St. Helens, they're not talking about any earthquakes here at Mount St. Helens. Why not? Mount St. Helens and Mount Rainier are about to erupt. They're getting ready to erupt. Plain and simple. Over here, Mount Adams. Why are they not talking about Mount Adams? Okay, Mount Adams is even steaming. Steam signatures all over the seismographs. Why are they not showing that as well? Inquiring minds want to know. They're not giving us any information about Mount Hood here. Why not? Okay? You see all kinds of volcanoes up here, up and down the entire coastline of Washington and Oregon. They're not showing any information. They should be. They should be. Earthquakes and tremors along the coastline, they're not saying a word one about it. Occasionally they'll put one up. Why not do it all the time? I believe the people, the population of these areas deserve to know what's going on around them. You can't possibly prepare yourself for any major earthquakes at all if you don't know what's going on now. You can't do it. It's virtually impossible. But the USGS doesn't believe they're responsible enough to do it, or they don't want to take the responsibility. I think it's more the latter. It's more the latter. Yes, they did show this 4.7 over here in the Blanco fracture zone. I applaud them for doing that. But guess what? They're not showing the other earthquakes around it. They're not. I can guarantee you there's at least 3 other earthquakes here. Okay? Earthquakes down here in the lower part of the Cascade subduction zone here. Okay? Right here. I've explained this area many times in other programs in the past. Right here. Where all 3 earthquake fault zones align. Okay? This is called the triple junction. The Cascade subduction zone up here, north and south. This one, east and west, is called the Gorda Escarpment. The Gorda Escarpment. We have an earthquake right here. This is on the San Andreas Fault here. This earthquake right here is on the San Andreas Fault. This is a 1.6 tremor. 1.6 tremor 6 miles west of Petrolia, California, on the San Andreas Fault. And this one here as well. Okay? Right here. This is a 2.5 minor earthquake. So we have a 1.6 tremor and we have a 2.5 minor earthquake here. Okay? Both of these earthquakes are aftershocks. Aftershocks of an 8.0 earthquake that hit over here just a few months ago. A very few months ago, if you remember what hit here. It was a major earthquake hit here. And yet USGS is still not showing all the earthquakes that hit here. Why not? Again, if you don't talk about it, it's obvious that they're omitting the information. If they're omitting the information, it's called lying, being untruthful with the public. And we pay their salaries. We pay their salaries. So USGS management, you've heard it here first. Do the right thing or get out. Do the right thing or get out. Okay? Rebecca the Explorer says she made it home. God bless you, Becky. We appreciate you being here. And again, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Anyway, guys, do you have any questions of me? Ruthie says, Richard here in Manil felt something last night while I was standing in the kitchen. I'm going to check time recorded. I noted the time, 7:28 p.m. last night. I thought maybe I'm just going nuts. No, I don't think you're going nuts. I don't think you're going nuts, but I'll bet something did happen. If you felt shaking beneath your feet, it probably was a small earthquake. It probably was a small earthquake. Now, you can see all the earthquakes up here in Alaska. Okay? These are normal. These are normal. But again, the USGS is not showing us all the earthquakes here. We normally have about 60, 65 earthquakes every day. As of a few months ago, they've been cutting those earthquakes back. It's not that there's less earthquakes happening, it's USGS not reporting them. The United States Geological Survey is not reporting all the earthquakes, ever. They haven't been, they're not going to. They haven't been, they're not going to. Now, there's nothing abnormal here in Alaska so far. Yes, this earthquake down here is red. Red signifies that the earthquake just happened. This is a 3.5 small earthquake near Ugashik, Alaska. Ugashik, 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 Alaska. Okay? 2.5 minor earthquake there. Now, there is an earthquake up here. Okay? This first happened about 40 hours ago. 40 hours ago. It happened right here where you see my cursor. It was a 4.5 earthquake here in the Arctic. A 4.5 earthquake here in the Arctic. Now, this is kind of normal. It's kind of normal. There's quite a few things going on up here in the Arctic. Okay? Yes, you can see where the plates are moving here. You can see the plate here, the edge of the plate. This is where that earthquake happened. I believe we're going to see more earthquakes just like it. It's not the first and it's not the last. I believe this is the second time we've had a moderate earthquake here in the last year. The second time we've had an earthquake up here in the last year. Okay? Now, is it going to continue? Yes, I believe it is. I believe it most certainly is. Now, sorry I'm having to do this manually. My mouse just ate the dust here. I'm going to have to replace the battery in just a few minutes here. Okay, yes, over here in Hawaii, right here. We've had some earthquakes here. Okay, right here. This is Pahala, Hawaii. This is Pahala, Hawaii. Yes, we've had some earthquakes here. This is the southern part of the southeastern part of the Big Island. Okay, again, this is a 3.1 earthquake, small earthquake. Pahala is where the magma comes from the deep part of the earth down in the South Pacific. It comes up here to Pahala, and the Pahala area here is like a gas station, sending magma to all the volcanoes around the Big Island. That's what's going on here. Okay? That's exactly what's going on here. But this, again, is not the only earthquake that happened here on the Big Island. Okay? There are about 5, well, actually, there's more. There's like 8 earthquakes, 8 to 10 earthquakes that have happened here in Hawaii today. 8 to 10 earthquakes in Hawaii today. I want to go down here to the South Pacific. This is where most of the earthquakes have happened here. Okay? This. See, there's this earthquake right here. This is Houma Tonga, Houma Tonga. Okay, this is a 4.3 earthquake here. This is normal. They have these kinds of earthquakes all the time. Rebecca the Explorer just gave us a $2 super chat. Thanks, Becky, for that. We appreciate that. God bless you for that. Happy birthday to you. I just gave you an EMA sticker on your super chat and also gave you a thumbs up. Thank you for that super chat. We appreciate all of those of you that help contribute to our channel in Super Chat or when you send us donations over to our PayPal or Venmo. We appreciate that greatly. Okay? Please do that. Also, for those people that send us cards and letters and donations to our address, okay, to our post office box, P.O. Box, or actually it's not P.O. Box. Let me do this again. The address is 104 North Green Street. 104 North Green Street, box 105. 104 North Green Street, box 105, Morganton, Morganton, North Carolina. The zip code here is 28655. You'll see all that information in the program description below this video today. Okay, you'll see all that information in the program, top of the program description where you see this video today. We appreciate all of you who help support this program on our PayPal, our Venmo, and over here on Super Chat. It's very much appreciated. And when you send donations over here to our post office box, we greatly appreciate that. A lot. Okay? This earthquake here is in Vanuatu. Is-Angle, Vanuatu. This is a 4.5 earthquake. 4.5 moderate earthquake. This is 162 kilometers deep. 165 kilometers deep, I'm sorry. 165 kilometers deep. This earthquake is a 4.3 also in Vanuatu region. In the Vanuatu region. 4.3 earthquake here. Okay? We have a lot of other earthquakes all over here. Okay. Now I want to show you this because this is where most of the earthquakes happen. Okay. Now over here in the South Pacific, right about in here, this is where the magma plumes coming up from the from the deepest part of the earth near the mantle. A magma plume originates down here in the South Pacific, right here in this region here. Okay. From this magma plume here, the magma is distributed through the crust to all parts of the earth worldwide. Okay, the magma is going to all the volcanoes worldwide, about 1,600 earthquakes worldwide. Or not earthquakes, 60, boy, I can't get past that, 6,000 volcanoes worldwide. I think it's over, actually not 6,000, it's over 1,600 volcanoes worldwide. 1,600 volcanoes worldwide. But the magma plume supplying the magma from the mantle here is distributed through to all the volcanoes worldwide from down here in the South Pacific. Also, down here in the South Pacific, this is where all earthquakes originate. All earthquakes originate from down here in the South Pacific. Okay? Richard Smith is saying that 5.3 in Taiwan. Yes, there was a 5.3 in Taiwan earlier today. Let me see if I can pull up Taiwan over here, just like this. Okay. You see the island of Taiwan right here. This is the 5.1 earthquake here. Yes, it was a 5.3. They downgraded this to a 5.1. Okay. This is 6.2 miles deep as well. Now, where did this earthquake happen? Where did this earthquake happen? Let me see if I can do this here. It's not going to let me do it right now. This is over in the south central part of Taiwan. This is in the mountainous region of Taiwan here. Okay. But this is about 20 miles east of a town, a good sized town. 20 miles. Yeah, I'm able to get I was able to get my mouse working again here. Let me show you this. We've had several large earthquakes in this region in the past, I want to say 2 weeks now. This was a 5.3. They downgraded to 5.1. Where it hit, it's in the mountainous regions here in southwestern Taiwan. But they're all small towns all around here. There's a small town right here. That looks like it's an even larger town because it's widespread all over the hills here. There's a small town. This earthquake was felt here. This large earthquake was felt in this town. The earthquake is felt all over this region out here as well. Look at this. This is a huge city area here. This is a huge city area here, widespread. This earthquake was felt all over this whole region of Taiwan. Now, this was just a small earthquake. Small meaning between 5.0 and 5.4. 5.0, 5.4. 5.5 to 5.9 are considered to be very large earthquakes. Now, large earthquakes such as this can cause a lot of damage. They can also result in injuries and fatalities. Now, I have not heard if there's any injuries or fatalities or how much damage has happened here in Taiwan, but I can assure you there is some damage here. There is some damage. This is a very localized quake, and it's very shallow. Shallow earthquakes equal damage and possible injuries and or fatalities. Okay? There have been large earthquakes hitting here in the past 2 weeks. Okay? This was a 5.3 here. Right just north of it is a 4.5. The 4.5 is also a very shallow quake, 6.2 miles deep. Okay? Now there's just another earthquake happening here. This is the 5.2. Okay? Unreal. Unreal. Do you guys have any questions here? Do you have any questions? Over here in southwestern China, this is a 4.1 earthquake. This is a 4.4. Both of those are shallow earthquakes. Over here in northeastern India, Myanmar area, this is a 4.5 earthquake here. 4.5 earthquake here. Okay. Notice they have no earthquakes shown over here in Africa. There are earthquakes still in Ethiopia. There's an earthquake, a moderate earthquake in southern Africa as well. They're not showing any earthquakes over here in Afghanistan. None at all. Okay. This is Afghanistan right here. They're not showing any earthquakes here. Okay. Nothing in Iran, Iraq at all. Why not? There are earthquakes. There are earthquakes. There's 70 earthquakes right here. 70 earthquakes right here. This is the Turkey-Syria border region. This is also the same region that where we had a 9.0, 10.0 earthquake that happened here February 3rd last year. I'm sorry, not last year, February 3rd, 2023. We're still having aftershocks even today. Every day. Every day, right here. Earthquakes in northern Turkey here. Southern Turkey here. Central Turkey. Western Turkey here. Listen, largest map here. These are the Dokanese Islands here. Yes, we have earthquakes throughout Turkey here. These are the Dokanese Islands here that belong to Greece. Even though they're close to Turkey, these islands belong to Greece. There are earthquakes here. There are earthquakes over here in Crete, Greece. Why are they not showing them? There are about 25 earthquakes. There's 25 earthquakes here in Greece, right here. Why are they not showing them? Why are they not showing these earthquakes? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay. Over here in Italy, there's 23 earthquakes here in central Italy. Earthquakes over here near Capifilgri here. Yes, we have a volcano here. We have a volcano. Why are we not seeing earthquakes here? Over here in southern Italy here, and over here in Sicily. Why are we not seeing earthquakes? There are earthquakes here. Earthquakes throughout this whole area. Also earthquakes over here in Romania and Croatia here. Up here in Russia, we have earthquakes. All throughout the Alps Mountains here, we have some tremors and minor earthquakes here. Also here in northern Italy, we have earthquakes here. Why are they not showing them? We have earthquakes there. They ought to be showing them. Most assuredly should be showing them. This area of Germany. Why are we not seeing earthquakes here? France. Why are we not seeing earthquakes here in France? They're not showing any, are they? Not at all. Because they don't feel they have to show them to us. They don't feel like they have to show them. They're not showing any earthquakes in Spain either. Why not? There are earthquakes here in southern Spain. There's a couple of earthquakes over here in Portugal. Earthquakes over here in western Spain and Portugal as well, down here to the south. Earthquakes here. Earthquakes over here in the Azore Islands here. Right in this area right here. Why are they not showing them? Earthquakes there. Earthquakes literally everywhere, guys. Literally everywhere. and they don't believe they need to show them to us. Okay? It's crazy. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Richard Smith is reporting a 2.1 in Baja, California. There's also, yesterday there was a 4.5 in Baja, California as well. And over in the Gulf of California as well. Crazy. Crazy. We have earthquakes in southern Mexico. We have about 14 earthquakes in southern Mexico. There are 7 earthquakes over in Central America. There's 18 earthquakes in South America, and USGS is not showing them. All that seismic energy is going up through Central America, southern Mexico, and going into northern Mexico over into California. Okay? That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Richard Smith says the Earth is going off the rails. Pretty much. Pretty much. Does anybody have any questions for me? Now, this is more than just a test of our video here. I know I can do videos here on my phone until we get this computer situation straightened out. I will strive to get this done very soon. I have my buddy from Alberta, Canada, helping me work on it. Okay, you all know Arnold Schmidt, that's usually here in the chat. He's also helping me work on getting this computer issue solved. I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody who has donated to our program to keep this program on the air. We really, really appreciate it. God bless you all. Deborah Reese is asking, how about Vancouver, Canada? Yes, we have earthquakes in Vancouver, Canada. Let me see if I can bring Vancouver, Canada over here. It's hard to do it with one hand with the computerized mouse here on the computer here. Okay. The USGS is not showing any earthquakes in Vancouver. However, there are. Let me see if I can bring up the Canadian Earthquake Agency here on the computer. I'm sure I can. I have in the past. Just a second here. Okay, just a second here. Okay, I got up the earthquake map from Canadian Earthquake Agency. It's called earthquakes.canada.nrcan.gc.ca. Okay, that's how you can reach this agency. Okay, look at the earthquakes here off the Vancouver, Canada area. All kinds of earthquakes. They're even showing earthquakes here that the USGS is not showing here in the northern Pacific Northwestern United States. Not showing any of this. Why not? Why not? Inquiring minds want to know. For example, how about this earthquake right here? This was a 3.7 earthquake here, Seattle, Washington. 39 kilometers east of Seattle. Why are they not showing it? Okay, why not? That happened on the 21st, by the way. Let's go over here off the coastline here. I don't see any current earthquakes here today. This one happened here on the 22nd. This was a 3.2 off the coast of Dojing-Gids, British Columbia. Okay. Earthquake down here. This is off of Port Hardy, Vancouver, Columbia here. Vancouver, British Columbia. This happened also on the 22nd. Okay. This was a 3.0 earthquake. You can see all the earthquakes that have happened here in the past 30 days. Okay. Over here to the east. The purple earthquake here on the dot here. Right there. Okay, this happened today. Actually, I'm sorry, this happened yesterday. This was a 0.4 microquake here. This happened 17 kilometers southeast of St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada. Okay? Anything purple or violet, whatever you want to call it, is a new earthquake. Relatively new earthquake in the past 24 hours. Okay? That's what's going on. That's what's happening. Any other questions you might have here? Our buddy Dave is here. Thank you for being here, Dave. Appreciate you. He's 8 minutes from Canada. That's great. That's great. No, the USGS doesn't post Canada, but they do look at their earthquakes. Yes, they do. They do look at them, but they don't post it. Yes, occasionally I will show you the Canadian map on our program. I will continue trying to do that going forth in the future. Richard says it's near Calais, Maine. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, does anyone have any questions for me? Okay. If you don't have anything else, I'm going to say see you later, guys. Again, we will be back here tomorrow at about 12:30 noon Eastern Time for Come Follow Me, the Savior Said, our weekly Sunday school class that we have here. We'd appreciate everybody being here. Please share this program we just had with everybody you know. Everybody needs to see this information. Okay? Everything we've talked about today needs to be seen by everyone. Okay? Including all these earthquakes. Okay? Everybody needs to know what's going on. Okay? Linda Covington's asking, did you see the vessel stuck in the ice near Buffalo? No, I have not. I didn't know about that. I will take a look at that a little bit later after I get off the air. Richard says earthquake's getting closer to him. He's got to run. Wow, crazy. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you all being here. God bless you all. Thank you for being here. God bless you until we meet again. We'll see you on the other side. Good night, everybody. Much love.